Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to take a look at the Sea of Love mission. Basically, I've seen a few posts on the forums already about people who seems to be struggling with that mission. So we're going to take a look at that mission specifically. But before we do that, if you go to your journal, if you have like a new character and you go to your journal, you will see a mission that is called Love Will Find a Way. Basically, eons ago, there was a Valentine seasonal that was added to the game, but then at some point it was removed from the game. And since people could no longer play that seasonal, what they ended up doing is that they ended up giving everyone all the feats related to that seasonal. So if at some point you receive a whole bunch of feats and you don't know why, that is most likely why. So once you basically collect the mission, it will give you all the feats of the Valentine seasonal that sadly is no longer available for player to play. So if you never played the old Valentine seasonal for from the first year of DC Universe Online, and at some point that seasonal was removed from the game, you can still get those feats, and you're seeing how now. So, and in order to be able to get the Sea of Love mission, we're going to have to talk to our friend Hal Jordan. So let's do that.
Mr. Freeze and his goons are interfering with the Star Sapphires and risking the safety of Gotham City. Head there and assist the Star Sapphires in any way you can.
So as you can see, we're still getting feeds from the old Valentine seasonal. There's quite a few of those, so it'll take a minute or two before we go through all those feeds. So once you talk to Hal Jordan, if we go to our journal, you can see there's the Sea of Love mission right here. So we're going to select it. I would probably normally cut to just when we get to Mara, but just to make sure that there's no confusion, that people still seems to get lost sometimes in Gotham, I'm going to go the long way around in order to get to that mission. It's not a big deal. It's like an extra minute or two, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. The longest part is probably the loading time. So once you get out of the police station, if you've selected the Sea of Love in your journal, it will activate the quest tracker. So you can see the quest tracker is saying speak with Mira and Gotham City. And if you look to your mini-map to the top right of the screen, you can see a big yellow arrow. So just follow the yellow arrow towards your destination. In this case, towards Mira. So you can see your friend Mara. As soon as you talk to Mara,
Greetings.
you can see Mara gave us message in a bottle.
Arthur's crown weighs heavy on his brow.
And you can see also all the objectives that appeared to the right of the screen.
Now on this special day.
And as you can see, Mara has quite a lot of things to say, so we'll go away just not to hear. If we go on the mini-map, or on the map I should say, you can see this is all the area we have to cover in order to be able to get all the objectives we need. And one of the reasons why some people are struggling with that mission is that usually what you have to do basically is you have to find a whole bunch of little seahorses like this little guy. Sadly, in some cases, like in this case, the seahorse is not indicated on the minimap. It's a little hard to see because I'm not sure why those people are sticking around the seahorse for no good reason. So even though there's no indication that you have to interact with our little friend the seahorse, you can still interact with it. So just go next to it, interact with it, and you will complete one of the objectives. So yes, technically there's no indication showing that you can interact with the seahorse. We don't see the white dot on the minimap to tell us that the seahorse is there. And also another thing is that you can do the Sea of Love with each character only once. The reason for that is probably because by the end of the mission, Mara gives you a little statue. And I guess they don't want people to have too many copies of that statue. So you can only play that mission only once. And also, the Mara also gives you the message in a bottle. So if you click on the message in a bottle and consume it, it's going to give you a collection for the royal relationship. The royal relationship is the collections you need for the bigger version of the statue. So once you have the collection, once you have the mission from Mera, you just fly around and you can see on the minimap, you should be able to see white dots on your minimap. Those white dots technically should be the seahorse. Like you can see we have the little icon saying that we can interact with the seahorse. But even if the icon isn't there, you can still interact with it.
I knew we were fated to be together like the sea and the shore. Our days spent in Amnesty Bay are among my favorite memories of my husband and king.
So that seems why some people are struggling with that mission, is that sometimes they'll see the little statue and they won't see the icon saying that they can interact with it. Interact with it nonetheless. Even if the icon isn't there, you can still interact with the little statue. I guess it's down there. Ah, there it is.
I remember the first time Mara tried surface food. We drove to a small diner close to my family's lighthouse. Since I was
And of course, if you have a new character like mine, there's probably a whole bunch of briefings, investigations that your character doesn't have. So you should be able to pick those up at the same time. So again, if you look on the minimap, you see the white dot. The white dot is where the statue is. So we just need to click on the statue.
I can remember the first time Arthur offered me dry land food. Of all the
Sadly, sometimes there'll be other white dots. Like you can see this, the spawning point is going to be one of those dots. There's quite a few consoles also that will give you a white dot on the map.
splits.
But after going around the city a couple of times, you should know which white dot to look for, and you should know which white dot are actually a console. And of course, you can see some yellow dots for places where you can enter, like the Regal Hotel right here. So roughly all you really need to do, you fly around until you see the white dots. When you see the white dots, you collect the... You go click on the seahorse. Like you can see another white dot here, but that's one of the consoles I was telling you about. Like the Booster Gold consoles, they're going to appear on your minimap as white dots. It might be a bit confusing at first, but you'll get it eventually. So again, you see the white dot on the minimap. Here it's pretty easy to see because there's not like a billion players next to it. So you just go there and you collect the little seahorse.
Sparked mixed memories, particularly of that ridiculous costume. I was glad to retire it. Arthur, on the other hand, made no qualms in asking me to keep it at the lighthouse. Men, how predictable.
And of course, each time you click on the statue, there's a little line that will play.
even less than I did. But Poseidon knows she tried to
If you want to listen to the whole line, you have to wait a bit. Otherwise, if you activate something else right after, sadly, you're going to pretty much interrupt what is being said.
solely for my own entertainment.
So if you kind of like to some of the storyline or roleplay stuff, and you want to listen to the whole thing, don't click on anything until the line is completed. It doesn't really change anything in terms of completing the mission, but it's just for your personal enjoyment. If you kind of like the whole storytelling that the devs are trying to put into the game, then you're going to want to listen to the whole line.
Him from me, be it Atlantean, Drylander.
So again, look for the white
Amazon
dot.
alike.
Once you see the little seahorse, you can click on it.
By individuals who are the pinnacle of physical perfection. They are modern gods, adored, idolized, and even desired by everyone around them. Relationships can be capricious under normal circumstances. Any relationship, as long as ours, is bound to have trials and tribulations. As Mira always says, an untested love is a fragile love. No matter what starry-eyed fibs we tell each other.
So again, it's not that difficult to do. You just have to go around from seahorse to seahorse. You click on all the seahorses, and once you're done, you go back to see your friend Mara.
But it is not our mistake.
And again, you can't really get lost. You have the yellow arrow telling you where to go once you're completed all the objectives.
Waves miles high, and have come through stronger for this. Never forget, an untested love is a fragile one.
So once you go back to Mara, as you can see, there's the question mark saying that you have to talk to her. So you talk to Mara, and then you complete the mission. She gives you a heart, and she gives you the little statue. So the name of the statue is DC Designer Series Aquaman and Mara by Pat Gleason statue. So this is the small version of the statue. Like when you see the wall thingy, it means that this is the small version of the statue that you're going to be able to put on the wall of either your base or your league hall. And in order to get the bigger version of the statue, you're going to have to gather all 13 collections from the Royal Relationship, and that should give you the big version of the statue. And of course, you can only play the Sea of Love mission once. As you can see, because Mara gives you, basically she gives you a collection, and she gives you a little statue. I guess the devs did not want people to be able to farm and farm and farm for the little statue. Technically, you can still farm for the little statue if you want to. Like if you're like me and you have a lot of characters, well, each of your characters are going to be able to play this mission at least once. And then you're going to be able to get a small statue for each of your characters. And that is pretty much it for the Sea of Love, guys. So, just to make sure that there's not too much confusion with especially new players. So again, the biggest issue is that sometimes some of the statues, like the little statue over here, the little seahorse over here, sometimes it's not indicated on the minimap, and sometimes it's not indicated that you can actually interact with it. But if you did not interact with it already, you can interact with it. So even if you don't see the sign telling you can interact with it, just go see the little seahorse, click on the little seahorse, and you will be able to complete complete the mission. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.